Hey everybody, Markiplier here, and welcome to a trip down memory lane. We're about to embark on a 35-year odyssey through the evolution of video game graphics, all thanks to the powerhouse that is the Intel x86-64 processor. We're talking about a visual revolution, people. From the humble beginnings of pixels and sprites to the mind-blowing, hyper-realistic worlds we explore today, we'll witness firsthand how far technology has come. Remember those blocky characters and pixelated landscapes? We've come a long way, baby. Get ready to relive some of gaming's most iconic moments as we trace the evolution of graphics and the incredible advancements that have shaped the industry. Buckle up, because this is going to be one wild ride. 1989. Back when hair was big, shoulder pads were bigger, and video game graphics were, well, charmingly simplistic. This was the era of 8-bit and 16-bit games where pixels reigned supreme. We're talking about games like the original Prince of Persia, where every blocky movement and pixelated sword slash was a testament to the power of imagination. But don't let the simplicity fool you. These games were groundbreaking for their time, pushing the boundaries of what was possible on home computers. The limited color palettes and chunky sprites couldn't mask the creativity and innovation that fueled these early masterpieces. It was a time when gameplay reigned supreme, and every pixel told a story. As we entered the 90s, things started to get a little more colorful. The arrival of more powerful hardware meant developers could experiment with more vibrant palettes and detailed sprites. Remember the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis? Games like Street Fighter II and Sonic the Hedgehog burst onto the scene, showcasing smoother animations and more detailed characters. It was a visual treat compared to the previous year, with backgrounds coming to life and characters showing off more personality than ever before. Hold on to your hats, folks, because things are about to get wild. In 1991, developers got even more adventurous with sprites, pushing the boundaries of what these little guys could do. Games like Another World, also known as Out of This World, blew our minds with rotoscoped animation, creating a level of realism and fluidity we hadn't seen before. Backgrounds became more intricate, filled with details that drew you deeper into the game world. It was a visual feast that left us wanting more, hungry for the next graphical leap. And trust me, it was coming. Chapter 4, 1992, Smooth Moves. Get ready to groove, because 1992 was all about smooth moves. Animation techniques took a giant leap forward, resulting in gameplay that was more fluid and responsive than ever before. Games like Mortal Kombat and Wolfenstein 3D were at the forefront of this revolution. We're talking about characters that moved with a newfound grace, their movements more believable and impactful. It was a game changer that made the experience more immersive and exciting. 1993, entering the third dimension. Hold on to your joysticks, everyone, because 1993 was the year three-dimensional graphics decided to crash the party. Games like Doom and Star Fox on the Super Nintendo showed us a tantalizing glimpse of what the future held. Sure, these early attempts at three-dimensional might look a little primitive by today's standards, but back then it was like staring into the face of the future. We were no longer confined to the flat planes of two-dimensional, and the possibilities seemed endless. 1994, textures and shading. Oh my, 1994 was all about adding depth and realism to those fledgling three-dimensional worlds. Developers started experimenting with textures, adding detail to surfaces that were once flat and lifeless. We're talking about the difference between a plain brown wall and one with realistic brickwork. And let's not forget about shading. This was the year games started to incorporate light and shadow, giving objects a sense of weight and dimension. It might seem subtle now, but back then it was like watching graphics come to life before our very eyes. Fasten your seatbelts, because in 1995 things got real. The release of the Sony PlayStation and Sega Saturn ushered in a new era of gaming, one fueled by more powerful hardware than we'd ever seen in homes before. Games like Tekken and Wipeout showcased the potential of these new consoles with detailed 3D 3D models and environments that left us picking our jaws up off the floor. It was a quantum leap forward, a clear signal that the future of gaming was in the third dimension. 1996 was the year 3D graphics kicked the door down and announced its presence to the world. The introduction of dedicated 3D accelerator cards like the legendary 3DFX Voodoo revolutionized the way games looked and played. Suddenly, we were treated to smoother frame rates, higher resolutions and visual effects that made our eyes water. Games like Quake and Tomb Raider became instant classics, showcasing the raw power of this new technology. With the foundation firmly in place, 1997 was all about refining those 3D experiences. Developers began to master the art of 3D modeling, creating more realistic characters and environments. Games like Final Fantasy VII and GoldenEye 007 captivated players with their cinematic presentation and attention to detail. It was clear that video games were no longer just games, they were evolving into a powerful form of storytelling. Chapter 10, 1998, Let Theere Be Light. 1998 was the year developers discovered the power of light and shadow. Games started to incorporate more realistic lighting effects, creating a sense of atmosphere and immersion that had been missing before. Games like Half-Life and Metal Gear Solid used lighting to incredible effect, heightening the tension and drawing players deeper into the experience. It was a subtle change with a huge impact, adding a layer of realism we hadn't seen before. Chapter 11, 1999, Faces You Can Believe In. Say goodbye to those stiff, expressionless faces of early 3D games. 1999 marked a turning point in character animation, with developers focusing on creating more realistic and emotive faces. Games like Soul Calibur and Shenmue featured characters that could actually act. We're talking about subtle facial expressions, lip syncing, and even the occasional twinkle in the eye. It was a huge step forward in making characters feel more human and relatable. Title 2000, a high-resolution world. Welcome to the new millennium. The year 2000 was all about pushing the boundaries of resolution and detail. Games like Deus Ex and The Sims boasted environments so rich and detailed, it was like stepping into another world. Textures became sharper, environments became denser, and the line between games and reality started to blur. It was a visual feast that left us in awe of what technology could achieve. Hold on to your hats, folks, because 2001 was about to get explosive. This was the year particle effects and dynamic lighting took center stage, adding a whole new level of realism and immersion to games. Games like Max Payne and Halo, Combat Evolved, used these techniques to stunning effect, creating breathtaking explosions, realistic smoke and fire, and lighting that responded dynamically to the environment. It was a visual spectacle that blew our minds and set a new standard for action games. In 2002, video game worlds became a lot more interactive. Developers started to focus on realistic physics, allowing players to interact with their environment in ways never before imagined. Games like Grand Theft Auto Vice City and Metroid Prime let you cause chaos, with objects reacting realistically to your actions. It was a game changer that made these worlds feel more dynamic and alive. 2003 was all about pushing the boundaries of realism. Games like Half-Life 2 and Beyond Good and Evil featured characters with lifelike animations and facial expressions that conveyed a range of emotions. The environments were equally impressive, with detailed textures and lighting that created a truly immersive experience. It was clear that video game graphics were rapidly approaching the level of CGI movies. 2004 was a year of subtle but significant advancements. Developers began to fully harness the power of shaders and post-processing effects, techniques that could dramatically alter the look and feel of a game. Games like Far Cry and Doom 3 used these techniques to create stunning visual effects, from realistic water and atmospheric effects to dramatic lighting and color grading. It was a testament to the ingenuity of developers and their ability to squeeze every ounce of power out of the hardware. 2005 was the year video game water finally looked wet. Advanced water effects and shaders allowed developers to create realistic waves, reflections, and refractions, making those virtual oceans and lakes more believable than ever. Games like Fear and Half-Life 2 at Lost Coast showcased the power of these new techniques, creating some of the most visually impressive water effects we'd ever seen. It was a reminder that even the smallest details could make a big difference in creating a believable and immersive world. Get ready for a resolution revolution! 2006 marked the arrival of the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, ushering in the era of high-definition gaming. Games like Gears of War and MotorStorm took full advantage of the new hardware, boasting stunning visuals and pushing the boundaries of console graphics. It was a visual feast for the eyes, with sharper textures, more detailed models, and a level of fidelity we'd only dreamed of before. The future had arrived, and it was glorious. 2007 was a year of refinement and expansion. Games like Crysis and Assassin's Creed pushed the envelope in terms of graphical detail and environmental complexity, creating worlds that were both vast and visually stunning. From the lush jungles of Crysis to the sprawling cities of Assassin's Creed, these games showcase the incredible potential of this new generation of hardware. It was a time of exploration and innovation, as developers pushed the boundaries of what was possible. 2008 was all about mastering the subtleties of light. Games like Grand Theft Auto 4 and Metal Gear Solid 4 featured advanced lighting models, realistic shadows, and breathtaking reflections that added a new level of depth and realism to the visuals. It wasn't just about making things look pretty. These techniques were used to create atmosphere, enhance storytelling, and draw players deeper into the experience. It was a testament to the power of lighting as a storytelling tool. In 2009, things got messy. Realistic physics and destructible environments took center stage, allowing players to wreak havoc like never before. Games like Batman Arkham Asylum and Red Faction Guerrilla let you tear through the environment, leaving a path of destruction in your wake. It wasn't just about mindless mayhem. These destructible environments opened up new gameplay possibilities, allowing for more dynamic and emergent gameplay. It was a blast to play and a visual spectacle to behold. 2010 was a year of technical wizardry. Developers continued to push the boundaries of rendering techniques, introducing new methods for creating more realistic and visually impressive graphics. Games like Metro 2033 and God of War 3 showcased the power of these advancements, with stunning visuals that blurred the line between games and reality. It was a testament to the dedication and ingenuity of game developers and their relentless pursuit of graphical fidelity. 2011 was all about bringing characters to life. Advancements in facial animation and motion capture technology allowed developers to create characters with an unprecedented level of emotional depth. Games like L.A. Noire and The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim featured characters that could convey a wide range of emotions through their facial expressions and body language, making them feel more human and relatable than ever before. It was a significant step forward in creating more immersive and emotionally engaging experiences. Hold on to your monocles, because in 2012 the pursuit of photorealism reached new heights. Games like Crysis 3 and Far Cry 3 boasted visuals so stunningly realistic it was hard to believe they weren't real life. Okay, maybe not quite real life, but still. The level of detail in the environments, the lifelike animations, and the advanced lighting effects all combined to create an experience that was as visually arresting as it was immersive. In 2013, developers continued to refine their craft, focusing on creating games that were both visually stunning and incredibly immersive. Games like The Last of Us and Grand Theft Auto 5 featured incredibly detailed environments, lifelike character models, and cinematic presentation that drew players into the experience. These games weren't just about pushing polygons, they were about creating worlds that felt real, with characters you cared about and stories that stayed with you long after you put the controller down. It was a testament to the power of video games as a storytelling medium. 2014 was all about the light. Dynamic lighting and global illumination techniques took center stage, allowing developers to create more realistic and atmospheric lighting effects than ever before. Games like Alien Isolation and Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor used these techniques to stunning effect, creating environments that were both beautiful and terrifying. The interplay of light and shadow added a new level of depth and realism to the visuals, making the experience all the more immersive. 2015 will be remembered as the year virtual reality finally became a reality, sort of. The launch of the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive ushered in a new era of gaming, one that promised to immerse players in the game world like never before. While early VR games were a bit rough around the edges, it was clear that this new technology had the potential to revolutionize the way we play games. It was a glimpse into the future of gaming, and it was exciting. 2016 was a year of incremental but important advancements in real-time rendering and visual effects. Games like Uncharted: For a Thief's End and Battlefield 1 showcased the incredible power of modern game engines, with stunning visuals and realistic physics that pushed the boundaries of what was possible. From the lush jungles of Uncharted to the war-torn battlefields of Battlefield 1, these games were a testament to the dedication and talent of game developers and their unwavering commitment to pushing the limits of graphical fidelity. In 2017, developers continued to raise the bar for graphical fidelity with games like Horizon Zero Dawn and Red Dead Redemption 2, featuring incredibly detailed characters, sprawling open worlds, and a level of polish that was simply astounding. These games weren't just about pushing polygons, they were about creating immersive and believable worlds that drew players in and didn't let go. It was a testament to the power of video games as a storytelling medium and the incredible talent of the people who make them. Hold on to your hats, folks, because in 2018, ray tracing entered the scene. This groundbreaking rendering technique, which simulates the way light behaves in the real world, promised to revolutionize video game graphics. Games like Battlefield 5 and Metro Exodus were among the first to showcase the power of ray tracing. With stunning reflections, realistic lighting, and a level of visual fidelity we'd never seen before. It was a glimpse into the future of gaming, and it was glorious. 2019 was all about the little details. Advancements in texture and material rendering techniques allowed developers to create incredibly realistic surfaces, from the rough bark of a tree to the smooth sheen of metal. Games like Resident Evil 2 Remake and Control showcased the power of these new techniques, with environments that were both visually stunning and incredibly immersive. It was a reminder that sometimes it's the smallest details that can make the biggest difference. 2020 was a year of refinement and optimization, as developers continued to push the boundaries of what was possible with existing hardware. Games like The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima featured stunning visuals, realistic animations, and a level of polish that was simply breathtaking. These games were a testament to the dedication and talent of game developers and their ability to squeeze every ounce of power out of the current generation of consoles. It was a fitting end to an era and a tantalizing glimpse of what the future holds. Hold on to your controllers, because 2021 ushered in a new era of gaming with the arrival of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. These next-gen consoles, packing serious hardware, promised faster loading times, higher resolutions, and more realistic graphics than ever before. Games like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart and Forza Horizon 5 showcased the raw power of these new consoles, with stunning visuals, incredibly detailed worlds, and a level of fidelity that was simply mind-blowing. The future had arrived, and it was glorious. 2022 was all about pushing the boundaries of what was possible with these new consoles. Developers continued to experiment with new rendering techniques, pushing the limits of realism and immersion. Games like Horizon Forbidden West and Elden Ring featured massive open worlds, incredibly detailed environments, and a level of graphical fidelity that was simply breathtaking. It was a year that proved the future of gaming is very, very bright. And here we are, 2023. The world of video game graphics continues to evolve at a mind-boggling pace. New rendering techniques, advancements in artificial intelligence, and the increasing power of hardware are all combining to create experiences that are more immersive and realistic than ever before. The future of gaming is full of possibilities. From virtual reality and augmented reality to the metaverse and beyond, the only limit is our imagination. So buckle up, because the ride is far from over. Can you believe it? 35 years of video game graphics evolution, all powered by the incredible Intel x86-64 processor. From those humble pixelated beginnings to the mind-blowing hyper-realistic worlds we explore today. It's been an incredible journey, and the best part, this is just the beginning. The future of gaming is brighter than ever, with new technologies and advancements constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Thanks for joining me on this epic adventure. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on more amazing content. Until next time, keep on gaming.